20 minutes? I can't go in front of a grand jury in 20 minutes.
What about 15?
This isn't a hearing. This isn't an ambush.
Max, you've had the subpoena for several days now. You should have been prepared.
Yeah, well, I didn't think you were serious about it. I mean, this morning we set up our little lunch date here, and what happened, huh?
Well, I tried to fit you into my schedule. And I did.
Hey! Nora, I need you. Are you available? You free?
What for?
I need a lawyer. You see, Taya here wants to burn me at the stake in place of Todd.
I heard about these perjury charges. Hey, Hank, did you give your okay to this?
Max and Blair withheld evidence that would have put Todd behind bars. I can't imagine you're happy about that.
Well, yes, I would have liked to have seen Todd behind bars, but you defended him. Not to mention you married him. Twice. So don't blame Max for your bad judgment.
I have a valid case.
No, you're using the law to scapegoat these people.
Does this mean you're going to help me?
You bet.
My, you talk about a sore loser. How dare you, Taya?
How dare you? You lied in court, and you're going to answer for it.
Well, it's ridiculous. Max and I, we don't even have a lawyer.
Actually...
Oh, this is real sweet, Max. Always taking care of number one, right? Well, what about me, huh? What? I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got my lawyer, and you are it.
Their perjury charges are going before the grand jury.
When?
Now, I'm representing Max.
Now?
Yes, now. And you are representing me.
I'm awful backed up.
Look, I'm not asking for a role in the hay, Sam. I'm looking for representation. And just think of it this way. You get to work with your old flame.
It's just I feel, I know it's Barbara, I know.
I'm gonna check her date book.
And I said to Cassie on the phone, honey, Bo and I are coming, we got proof. Barbara's a murderer, so you don't open the door to her, you know? Stay inside the house, lock the doors.
She didn't have any appointments that I can see.
It's my fault because I let a nutcase like this come into my family life. Come on into my home. You come on in and take my wife hostage.
Kevin, we don't know that, okay? We don't even know for sure if Barbara was here.
Wait a minute, listen. You order pictures from the Landview Police Department, right? What if Barbara found out about that? So she knows you're onto her. Like, she could do anything. She could come to this house.
Look, maybe Cassie got scared. She called Kelly, all right? Try Dorian's.
This doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, my God.
What?
This is Barbara's. She was here. This is Barbara's.
I'm calling the police department.
Say your prayers. I think we should both pray. But especially you. Okay. I think that's a good idea. Yeah. This has gone on long enough, and it's finally over.
Yes.
Why didn't we wait for Kevin and Bo? I was ready to confess. Because I thought you might want to pray. Out loud. Out loud? Yes, I want to hear. I want to hear what a murderer has to say to God. Oh, Heavenly Father, I've injured so many people. And I've tried to make excuses for myself. I tried to blame it on other people. I tried to blame it on Kevin, on my father, even on Drew for getting in the way. The truth of the matter is, I shot the gun. Nobody else. I did it. Please forgive me. And please be with me when I go to the police. And please be with Joey. Help him to understand. please be with Cassie? Help her to heal. Oh, God. I've sinned 3 times against her. I threw myself at Kevin, and I fired the shot that put her in the hospital. And there's something else. I have to confess a 3rd sin.
Don't let me stop you. I think this confession is good for your soul.
I hope so. Lord, I'm guilty of a 3rd sin that I ask for your forgiveness. I turned the light off in Cassie's hospital room and unplugged her call button. It was me that made her fall. It was me that made her re-injure herself. And it was me that caused the fall that probably paralyzed her.
What happened?
What happened? It took you too long, that's what happened.
I'll ask you again, what happened?
My wife is missing. Barbara Graham kidnapped her.
Barbara shot Cassie. She killed my son. We have proof.
Fletcher, will you watch the door, please? What kind of proof?
There's a period of time that Barbara's presence at the hospital is unaccounted for. Now, I checked that out.
Come on, Bo, you know that's not enough.
I can prove that she was at the docks. Look at these photos. See that flower there?
Yeah?
It's right there.
I don't know, Bo, this photograph is kind of blurry.
Blurry? What about this? Is this blurry?
What about it?
Well, it's Barbara Graham's. See, I called my wife with Bo, and I told her, I warned her. I said, don't open the doors, keep the doors locked, stay put. We get here, my wife is gone, and Barbara Graham's purse is left behind.
I'm sorry, Kevin, this is still circumstantial. I'm gonna need more proof than that.
My wife's life is at stake, and you need more proof? How much proof do you need? Huh, John? I'll tell you what, I'll get you your proof. Andrew Carpenter. I'm gonna go to St. James Church, and I'm gonna choke it out of him. If the last thing I do, I'll get information. Kevin!
The jig's up, John. You can't protect Barbara anymore.
Tonight is a night of miracles at St. James. And I pray for a miracle. I pray that Cassie will be able to walk again, and that she and Kevin will live a very happy life. Amen. Thank you.
For what?
For bringing me here. If I can confess to God, I can easily confess to the police.
You make it sound so easy.
Well, it's not really.
Just get it off your chest, and you're granted absolution? Nice and simple? What about all the lives that you've trashed, Barbara? All the prayers in the world are not gonna bring Drew back.
I know that.
He is gone forever, Barbara. And how is Joey gonna feel when he finds out he's been shacking up with his cousin's killer?
Please, let me tell him. Don't leave that to the police.
Why not? Come on, Barbara, what do I have to lose?
Kevin? Kevin loves you. Hasn't he proven that to you already? So I have to own up to what I did. Maybe you should own up to what you've done. Keeping this a secret wasn't my idea. That was your decision. I have to tell Joey. You have to tell Kevin. I'm gonna call him now.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Sam, how much trouble could it be? Think of Star. She already is missing one parent, and this woman, she wants to put me in jail.
You heard the man. He's got a full schedule. Why don't I represent both of you?
What?
Well, you're both up on the same charges, and I'm here, so let's go.
Nora, I thought you were backing off on your workload.
I can handle it, Hank.
Yeah, you can handle it. You'd be selling me down the river at the first sign of trouble.
Excuse me?
Excuse you? I mean, you and Max are friends, but I don't, you know, you and I,
What does that have to do with anything?
Plenty.
You hiring me as a lawyer, not as your friend. I am perfectly capable of being objective.
Really? Maybe. In that case, I want the best. Sam?
Excuse me. Would you all excuse us for a moment? Can I talk to you, please?
What was that all about?
I have no idea.
Well, I don't care who represents them. They're going down either way.
The bride of Frankenstein on the warpath. La, 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 la.
Look, I am so sorry about this. I know we said we were going to try to avoid each other here, but...
First Clint and Lindsay's divorce, now this. It's a conspiracy, that's what it is.
What I'm afraid of is that we'll attract more attention if we try to avoid this situation.
What do you want me to do?
Do nothing. I'll take Blair's case, and I promise you I will get it over with as quickly as humanly possible, all right? And then we can both get on with our lives. Is that all right? Okay. Trust me.
I've made time. I'll take your case.
Oh, that's so generous of you, Sam. Oh, I hope I'm not too much trouble for you.
I have to call my office if you'll excuse me.
I have to call my office, too. Excuse
Look, we need to get our stories straight here.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am going to lie through my teeth. Todd, well, Your Honor, he fooled a lot of us, and tape? What tape? Oh, that tape. I thought that was just a compilation of nursery rhymes.
Blair, you seem to be forgetting that you confessed the whole thing to the prosecutor the other night at Club Indigo. You practically gloated about it.
That was a joke, Your Honor. Is it my fault that Madam Prosecutor doesn't have a sense of humor?
If we get caught lying to a grand jury, we'll end up in a lot more trouble than we're in right now. So I suggest that we tell the truth and we play the sympathy factor.
Sympathy factor?
We did it for love.
Are you kidding?
Look, this is Taya's ball game. She's out for revenge.
Max, what makes you think that this is going to stop Taya?
Because she's feeling humiliated because she made a fool out of herself over someone she loved. And if we say we did the same thing, then who knows, maybe she'll lighten up a little and drop the charges.
Well, I say we play dumb.
The grand jury has assembled. We're ready to begin.
Thank you, bailiff.
The people call Max Holden. Come with me.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Actually, we're not going. You're not allowed to take an attorney into the grand jury.
So what's the point?
I'm right here if you need me, Max.
Send me the bill.
What would the sentence be on a crime like this? Say if someone was found guilty, which I know that I won't be, but just say.
It's a third-degree felony.
It's good for about, max 7 years and $15,000 fine.
Are you kidding?
No. But, I mean, the upside is probably you'd be on a parole in 3.5 years.
Well, it's a good thing that I'm innocent.
Yeah.
Did you know that Todd Manning was faking a mental illness known as DID?
Yes, I did, and I said so at the trial.
And you also said, under oath, that you had no proof.
Yes, that's right.
When, in fact, you knew of the existence of this taped confession by the accused.
I was aware of the tape's existence, but I did not have it in my possession at the time of my testimony, so when I said that I did not have proof Mr. Manning was faking it, I was telling the truth.
Oh, you're splitting hairs, Mr. Holden. You knew where the tape was, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I had given it to Blair Kramer.
And you withheld evidence from the court because you planned to use this tape to blackmail Mr. Manning into signing over his newspaper. Isn't that so?
Actually, I had something much greater at stake.
Wonder what he's saying in there about me.
Blair, as your attorney, may I advise that you do not open that door.
I was in love with Blair Kramer.
Cut him off.
Sure, I would have loved to have had the paper, but I was willing to give it up for her sake. Maybe I made myself look like a real fool, but I only wanted to protect her.
Nonetheless, you lied. You admit that.
It's amazing what one will do for someone they love.
There's nothing personal about it, Bo. Barbara and I haven't been close for years.
Yeah, but you're very close with the new senator. You owe him, don't you?
I think my record speaks for itself.
Yeah, but he raised you. So come on. I mean, he took you under his wing. He groomed you. He even gave you my job.
Wait a minute. You've got no one to blame for that but yourself.
I was trying to protect my son, but that's just part of the story, okay? Why don't you tell me the rest?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think Graham's putting pressure on you, John. It's got to be intense because if the truth gets out about this, he's got a lot to lose. His daughter, possibly his career.
You're wrong.
Has he promised you something? If you keep Barbara's name out of this? Or does he have something against you? Because that seems a lot more likely to me.
Look, Bo, I know you're still suffering from your loss, and I know you want answers, but you are way off base on
No,
this.
you were a great cop, John. Unquestioned integrity. And I relied on you. I trusted you.
Yeah, I know.
But now that you're the commissioner, you're willing to let some killer just walk around free. How much longer do you plan on protecting Barbara Graham? Like forever?
That case is closed.
Did my son's life mean that little to you?
No. No, your son was a good kid.
Yeah, he was a good kid. That graduated #1 in his class from the academy. He was a good kid that was on his way to being a great cop. And he's a cop that died in the line of duty on your watch.
Yeah, my watch. And I have to live with that till the day I die.
You made a pact with the devil, John, but it's not too late to break it. Now, come on. Just put out an APB on Barbara Graham.
I can't do that.
What if Barbara really did take Cassie? How much more blood do you want in your hands, John?
Cassie, please don't do this. Please, let me just confess. Let me go to jail. I'll be out of your life forever.
Barbara, that's no longer good enough.
I just heard a noise at the front door. I think somebody's there.
It's a nice try.
Andrew! Andrew! Andrew!
What is it?
My wife is missing. Barbara Graham took my wife. Bo has proof that Barbara was the shooter. She shot my wife. She killed Drew. You knew this, though. You knew this, didn't you? Tell me you knew this because Barbara Graham, she confessed to you This is why you couldn't tell me.
I can't say anything.
What do you mean you
I took a
can't?
vow.
I took a vow! I took a vow! Till death do us part. Do you understand that?
Kevin, go to the police.
No, I already went to the police, and they don't want to help me until I give them more proof. So you tell me what you know.
Go on, John. It's written all over your face. And it does say something good about you. At least you're not the lowlife like your boss, Graham, is. You at least have the decency to be ashamed.
I'm sorry, I gotta go.
No, wait. Just take a look at something here, John. Here. Look at this picture.
Look.
No, go on. Just look at it. That was one of your officers.
I tried to help.
How?
I tried to set Kevin in the right direction.
So you were the anonymous caller.
Look, Bo,
No, go on. Admit it. You know, it's to your credit. It's not going any further than this.
Yeah, it was me. I was the anonymous caller. I sent Kevin the photograph of the shoe print.
I figured as much.
Never could put one over on you.
Why the subterfuge, John? Was it Graham?
Yeah, it was Graham. I couldn't let Graham find out that the leaks were coming from me. You have no idea what he's capable of.
I sure know what his daughter's capable of. That's why I'm worried right now.
Well, his daughter is an amateur compared to the old man. She's just a mixed-up kid who lashes out blindly when she's hurt.
No, this was premeditated. She went out and bought a gun. She set Kevin up.
Look, you don't know what she's been through.
I don't care what she's been through.
Bo, after her mother died, she was completely alone. She was neglected by her father. He just paraded her out when he needed her for campaign reasons.
I'm sorry.
Look, whenever any man showed any kind of kindness to her, she devoured it like she was starving. She'd latch on to him until it became an obsession.
And that's where you got the knife wound.
Yeah, a small souvenir from our breakup.
So, John, you know how dangerous Barbara is.
Yes, I do. But she was so young, I thought maybe with time she would...
No, with time she just moved on to more efficient weapons.
Bo, I know this is impossible to believe. But Barbara's very sorry for what she's done. I mean, she's agonizing over it. She even tried to come to me to turn herself in and confess, but Graham stopped her. And I am so sorry, heaven help me, but I didn't have the guts to stand up to him.
Sykes is sitting in my house right now, refusing to cooperate. While Barbara takes my wife God knows where, because you didn't say anything to me. You didn't say a word to me.
And it's a vow, a sacred vow.
The vow is more important than Cassie.
No, it's all important. Everything about it is important. I guarantee you that Barbara's not going to hurt Cassie.
How do you know that? How do you... You have no right to gamble with my wife's life. You understand me? You have no right. You don't know what you're doing. No.
Kevin, it's a complicated situation. Now, I've made a decision. I'm the one who has to live with it.
I don't understand you. I don't... This makes no sense to me.
I'm so sorry. I can't say anything. I can't.
You know what? I'm not going to stand here and wait and argue with you. You can say it to the police. Let's go.
He didn't tell Kevin about me. Cassie, please. Please, let's do what Andrew suggested. Let's just go to the police.
No. You're too good of a liar. I can't take that risk.
Thank you, Mr. Holden. I have no further questions. Bailiff, would you please bring in Ms. Kramer?
You let Holden run on too long.
He took me completely by surprise.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that his love defense will fly with the jury. Still, the case against Max is shaky.
He admitted he perjured himself.
Mm-hmm. But Blair's case is different. I think you can nail her. So go for it.
Okay.
How'd it go?
Oh, fine. Took your advice.
Miss Kramer, they're ready for you.
Ooh, ouch. I guess it really is over between the two of you. Old Sam's turned the prow. Better watch out, Nora. Too bad she's taken.
Oh, so you knew all along that Mr. Manning was faking the DID?
I said so on a number of occasions, but nobody would take me seriously.
But when you were on the witness stand, suddenly you agreed with the diagnosis?
Todd is a very cunning man. And he's a pretty good actor. I think a lot of us were fooled at one time or another.
You had that taped confession with you. Why didn't you admit it as evidence?
Because I was in love with Todd Manning's attorney, Sam Rappaport, and I didn't want to embarrass him or see him hurt.
So you withheld vital information.
Sam is a very intelligent and caring man, and like a lot of other very good people, he invested a lot of interest in believing Todd.
A simple yes or no, Ms. Kramer. Did you withhold evidence and perjure yourself?
I should have done what Max told me to do all along, and that was to use the tape, but I didn't. I think when you lie to someone or to yourself, even for the sake of love, it always comes back to haunt you.
So what do you think?
You did better with Blair. She was trying to slip and slide, but you kept bringing her back to the point. Good work.
And the ruling?
Well, I'm guessing the jury will let Max off. They will indict Blair. Then the ball is back in your court as to what you want to do.
Well, if you didn't have any evidence and you weren't withholding information, then you should be able to get off the hook.
I could kiss you.
Just pay your bill.
Look, I can't go to prison, Sam. I can't abandon my daughter.
You're not going to go to prison, Blair. Don't worry.
The jury's come back with a decision.
Thank you. Blair Kramer, Max Holden. You've been indicted for perjury.
You know, he was just like you. Quiet, confident, good instincts. It was a terrible loss. But Barbara never meant to hurt Drew.
John, you'll have to forgive me if I don't feel sorry for Barbara, because she killed my son when she was aiming for my nephew.
Let's go. Proof! Barbara confessed everything to the Reverend. I'm sure he'll confess to you.
Kevin.
Andrew, is that true?
I promised Barbara the sanctity of the confessional. I can't break that vow. So Kevin's assuming facts that he doesn't know to be true.
I understand that, but is that why you came to me? Because you wanted to keep the investigation alive without having to admit something that you really could not admit?
Monk didn't exactly fit the facts of the case, did he?
You know something? He's not going to be able to come right out and say it. All right, he's already basically admitted that Barbara came to him and made a confession, so isn't that good enough for you? I mean, isn't that all you need?
No, it's not proof.
No, John, you can't ignore the serious nature of Barbara's crimes. That's not going to help her.
More importantly, don't ignore the fact that she's, you know, okay? She's seriously ill. This is a person that wanted to get caught, begged for it, walked into a church, and made a confession. Don't say anything, Andrew, okay? Because you don't want to breach your vows. Don't breach them, but just don't get involved in this either, okay?
John?
Okay, Bo. Do it.
Put out an APB on Barbara Graham.
Yes, sir.
If you shoot me and kill me, then you'll go to prison.
Self-defense. You kidnapped me. My life was in danger, remember?
But they'll never believe
Oh,
it.
come on, Barbara. They already do. Didn't you hear Kevin?
You can't shoot me here.
Why not?
Because it's sacred. This is a sacred place. It's a really sacred time. And there are angels. Angels all around us.
Angels? Well, where were the angels the night that you pulled the trigger?
They're protecting you from dying.
Angels. Angels.
You were married to Andrew here, weren't you? Right here in this sanctuary?
Shut up.
How about River? Wasn't he baptized here?
We'll go someplace else. Someplace where no one will find us. Come on. Come on!
Indicted? You said I'd get off the hook.
What happens now, Sam?
Well, it depends on whether or not the DA wants to prosecute the case. If he doesn't, then it's over.
Well, I think I'm going to leave that decision to the ADA in charge of the case.
Taya, look, you made your point. And I'm sorry if it looked like I was, making fun of you the other night at the club. I wasn't. Todd, he fooled all of us.
Taya, we never meant to hurt anyone, and certainly not you. Look, it's over. Todd is gone. Can't we just move on to something better?
Congratulations, Taya Delgado. You got your first indictment. You nailed them both. Hey, isn't that what you wanted?
I want you to know that we might appeal based on entrapment. Do you want to,
See you in court.
We'll find Cassie. We'll bring her back to you.
I hope so.
Barbara will not hurt her.
Barbara already has hurt her.
Try Kelly. It's possible that she picked Cassie up and took her
I
somewhere.
already called Kelly. I already called the Banner. I already called the hospital. I spoke to the physical therapist. Nobody's seen her.
Andrew, without revealing the specifics of Barbara's confession, how did she seem?
It seemed to me that Barbara wanted to make amends for any sins that she'd committed.
As far as committing more sins, you don't think that's likely?
For crying out loud, Bo. She's sick.
I know how she is. I've spoken to her. Nora and I talked to her at Club Indigo. She's what I'd call tormented.
Tormented, yes. But tormented, in Barbara's case, could mean she's ready to go out and pick up another gun.
No, it's not the Barbara that I've gotten to know.
Well, you know what? That's because you're as blinded as my brother's been.
So what do you think? She's gonna just finish what she started at the docks?
Oh, I think it certainly fits. I mean, think about it. She worms her way into this family. She isolates my wife from me, from everybody else. Also, she can act on her big plan now.
I think that Kevin's got this thing turned around.
Oh, really? And why is that, Andrew? Is that because you know something that you're unwilling to share with us? Why don't you quit hiding behind your collar? Why don't you take the collar off and share something that might save somebody's life?
Look, he cannot tell us what Barbara said in a confession any more than you could divulge sources when you're writing a story.
Do you think wait a second, do you think for 1 minute that I would ever hide a source if it meant that the murderer of your son would go free?
No. No, that's not going to happen because I think I know what Andrew's what he's not telling us.
Oh, I know exactly what he's not telling us, that Barbara's guilty.
No, Kevin, it's that Cassie has known the truth for quite some time.
What are you talking about? How would my wife know that Barbara's a murderer? That doesn't make any sense.
Cassie treats Barbara like she's a slave. Now, I've seen that myself.
Bo, you were with me when my wife remembered that the killer had brown eyes. Brown eyes.
Yeah, and we both know that the killer didn't have brown eyes.
I know.
Don't we? I mean, why would she insist that the killer did?
That's easy because listen, this was a traumatic event. This was something that was horrifying to her. In the midst of it all, isn't that a common mistake?
No, Kevin. Cassie knows that Barbara is the one who shot her, and she's known about it for quite a while.
Is that true, Andrew?
Barbara, move it! Cassie, stop. Stop, don't throw your life away like I did. They'll figure it out, they always do.
Oh, would you quit whining?
Well, Andrew knows. I mean, maybe he protected you once, but if I end up dead, he'll come forward.
Yes, you may be right.
I know I am.
Well, I can't kill you. But one way or another, you're going to have to die.